Tonight, we are learning new details in the background of a Jacksonville Beach man accused of murdering and dismembering a 16-year-old boy back in 1994. We are digging deeper, looking into Ron Hyde's patterns of behavior from his church involvement to social media posts that claim he was abused as a child. First Coast News' Shelby Danielson is live tonight by his Jacksonville Beach home with more on that and the ongoing search of his property. Shelby?
Well, Heather, I can tell you the biggest change out here is that it's really less visible to us what the FBI is doing. You may recall the past couple of days since we've been out here, we were able to see the FBI taking boxes and boxes of items out of Hyde's garage, bags of items in his home, taking them out and putting them in a U-Haul truck, and they were digging in his backyard. Well, now as they continue those search efforts here, you can see they are out of sight. And while they continue here, they have stopped those search efforts at the property on Thelma Street near downtown Jacksonville. Now tonight, a local psychologist is analyzing Hyde's behavior for us. People who knew him have described him as distant, silent, and just different. Who is this man? That's what neighbors want to know about this lifelong Jacks Beach resident who seemed aloof to his community. Dating back to the time of the crime he's now charged with, we know Ron Hyde seemed keen on church involvement. From being a youth pastor to a church counselor, he seemed to almost church hop around the First Coast. UNF psychologist and researcher Dr. Tracy Alloway says that could be an avenue to connect with people who are vulnerable.
Being able to detect what someone else needs and capitalize on that, and that's where it becomes dangerous because they can manipulate that.
On Hyde's Facebook page, there are posts about feeling grateful working as a Christian mental health counselor. He writes against child abuse, domestic violence, and suicide.
And so for him, Facebook may serve as an avenue for him to present his ideal self, the self he'd like to be.
Alloway says some of his behaviors raise red flags.
Again, I think we need to be cautious that we don't overdiagnose people and then start taking this Minority Report perspective where anyone that we perceive to be distant or doesn't kind of fit in with our own social mold, that they're going to likely be, they're going to likely commit a crime, because that's not the case at all.
What is the FBI searching for at his house?
Oh, right. I don't know. I mean, I suppose in the same way that we talked about a bit earlier, they're looking for patterns and essentially some evidence that would link him to the crime, or possibly that he may have done this before and it's gone undetected. This type of behavior typically doesn't happen in isolation, so they may be looking for previous unsolved cases and trying to see if there's any connection there.
Like Dr. Alloway just said, we know the FBI is looking to see if there are any other cold cases connected to this, which is why they've asked for any other victims out there to come forward. Now, coming up tonight, new at 6 o'clock, we're going to talk about the number of times police have been called out to Hyde's property in the past. And I spoke with neighbors about what they saw here last night with the FBI. That's coming up at 6. Live in Jacks Beach, Shelby Danielson, First Coast News.